actually really impacts your moods. So whether you're feeling more depressed or you're feeling good about yourself, it is affected by nutrition. Nutrition affects your sleep, so it promotes good sleep if you have good diet. Really gives you better energy levels when you eat well. And it affects your outside appearance, so your skin, your hair, you know, things that help you look presentable in the workspace. Some other reasons why you should care about your diet is that the main things that Pakistanis really struggle with in terms of health is heart disease. So Pakistanis have a very high rate of heart disease. When you don't focus on your diet, you can start to accumulate plaques in your arteries. It can cause heart attacks and strokes, and that's something that a lot of Pakistanis unfortunately struggle with because they culturally were not really taught the right ways to eat. In general, we have a very high oil diet, so we eat very oily foods in our diet that can cause more cholesterol buildup in our arteries. And then osteoporosis is another big concern, especially in women. This is a big disease. Many people don't know that this is a big issue in Pakistan, but it's basically the weakening of bones, which is caused by a lack of minerals and vitamins, which can lead to really just the weakening of bones can lead to fractures, curving of the spine, and general mobility issues in adults. So we'll start with the basics of nutrition, just for a deeper understanding, a general understanding of what food is about. So calories, what is a calorie? Maybe some of you guys have heard about what calories are. Who's heard about calories? Who's counted calories? Some of us, okay. So what are calories? So generally, sometimes when you see on a menu or if you look into an app, certain foods say that they have certain calories. And if you're trying to lose weight, you try to eat things that have less calories. Basically, what a calorie is, it's a unit of measurement of the energy in food. This is the technical definition. And then in simple terms, calories tell us how much energy we get from eating and drinking different foods, okay? What are macronutrients? Have you guys heard about carbs, proteins, and fats? Raise your hands. Yeah, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. So we need all of them in our diet, and different foods have different, you know, they fall under either carbs, proteins, fats, or a combination of them. So here's pictured beans and dals, for example. They fall both in the family of proteins as well as carbohydrates. Other food we tend to think more of as carbohydrates are like breads and rice. And for fats, nuts and seeds generally fall within the fats category. But somewhere in the middle between fats and proteins are cheese and dairy. They have both fats and protein. So sometimes it's a combination of food, but people tend to think, oh, this is only carb and this is only protein. But there's a lot of foods that fall in between as well that also have the different macronutrients. So carbs we need as they're our body's main source of energy. They provide fuel for our muscles, brains, and organs and support our daily activities. Our brain's primary fuel source is carbohydrates, and we use a lot of our energy through our brain. So as working professionals, you have to use your brain a lot to get things done. So make sure that you're having healthy carbs in your diet and don't cut them out unnecessarily. And carbs also are very necessary for gut health. They contain fiber, okay? Another macronutrient, proteins, they're really essential for building and repairing tissues, enzymes, hormones, and general immune function. Many benefits. And then fats are your energy sources. They are important for cell membranes, hormone production, and nutrient absorption, and they're found in these foods. So we really need all the macronutrients in our diet. I know there's very popular weight loss diet that say, oh, you don't eat fats. Let's say back 10 years ago, there was a no fat movement, and then it became a no carb movement. And those diets are not healthy and they're not sustainable because your body needs these things and you have to have all of them in your diet. So you can't have none of one of the food groups. You really need to have them all in the right amounts. Then we move on to our micronutrients, which are needed in smaller amounts in our diet. So those are basically our vitamins and our minerals. Those are your micronutrients. Again, we're needed in small amounts in our diet. an example of what an orange contains. So a little bit of fats, protein, and mostly carbohydrates. This might shock people. There's a little bit of fats and protein in here. And all the different vitamins, right? So it's so important to have a variety of these healthy foods because they really help us meet our daily micronutrient requirements that, in our processed foods like chips and cookies and the more processed foods, they don't have all of these things. So we really miss out on these micronutrients that we really need, okay? They not only provide energy, but they're really needed for very important functions in our body. So calcium and vitamin D, we've all heard of that. Build and repair bones. Magnesium, vitamin E prevents inflammation. There's so many uses of these small micronutrients. And again, if you don't have a healthy diet, you can very easily fall low in these. And it can cause all sorts of issues with your bones, with your muscles, with your energy, all kinds of issues. So how do you have a healthy diet? How do you make sure that you eat enough carbs, proteins, fats, and all the micronutrients? Well, pyramid might be a nice way to explain. You want the basis of your diet to be, healthy carbohydrates, whole grains. Try to avoid white rice, white bread, and flour, more refined, but go more towards your whole grains like brown rice, whole wheat pasta, oats, quinoa, barley. They're more natural, okay? They have more nutrients, more minerals in them than the processed version. Then we move on to fruits and vegetables. So important to have color in your diet. The more color you have in your diet, the more it helps to prevent disease. Okay, so the different colors give many different benefits. Really go for, reds and purples and yellows and all these colors in your diet. They're very good for health prevention. At least 2 servings of fruit every single day and lots of veggies. Then we move on to our protein, mostly found in our meat and alternatives. So dal, chickpeas, beans are plant-based protein. Animal-based protein are chicken, beef, mutton, fish, prawns, eggs, and these. A lot of people, they want to know, how do we maintain our high protein diet? We're working out. Well, eat these foods, your plant and animal proteins. If at any point you want to take pictures of the sides, go ahead. You're more than welcome to. And then vegetables and fruits, healthy fats. Here are some of the healthy fats. Really important to have healthy fats in the diet, okay? Because they really help in your immune function, your hormone function, and they, again, fight inflammation inside the body, many protective effects. So here are some sources of that. Foods to limit for a healthy diet. So here are some foods that may not be as good for your health. We know a lot of these. So highly processed foods, like we talk about, stick as much to the natural food sources, the whole food sources as possible that are least processed. Those are best for your body. They make you feel the most full. You get the most nutrition from them. Processed foods, sometimes not so much. It's not that you can never eat them. So it doesn't say foods never to eat, but it says limit, So for the most part, try to avoid these foods. Sausages and luncheon meats, high sugar foods, flavored yogurts, flavored milk, juice, oily fried food, fast food, and bakery items. Generally try to avoid these. Juice is one that a lot of people start to question me, like, oh, is an apple juice and orange juice healthy? Well, some of the packaged juices in stores, have added sugars in them, not the best. And generally, juices cause more of a blood sugar spike in your body. And we're going to talk a little bit more about blood sugar spikes, but generally, if you can avoid juices, that's actually a good idea. Try to eat fruit in their whole form so that you eat more fiber and it's better for your blood sugar values. So one topic a lot of people, are very interested in is weight loss. You guys look like you're in good shape, so not too many people I see need that. So weight loss is something a lot of people care about. So how do you get the best results for weight loss? Your calories in versus calories out. You need to be in a calorie balance. Each of us requires different numbers of calories based on our body size, our gender, our activity levels. So you have to calculate how many calories your body needs, which you can easily do online. Just go search up some some websites. They can tell you how many calories your body needs based on your different, what your gender, activity levels, like I said. And to maintain your calories, you have to eat according to that number. If you want to maintain your weight, if you want to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit, which means eating less calories. If you want to gain weight, you have to eat more calories than your body needs. And how you can help to lose weight is to try to improve your calories expenditure, which means exercise more and just be generally active. That can also help to burn some calories that you eat through food, right? So when you, like we said, like different foods have different calories, which are units of energy. So sometimes if we eat a lot of these foods, our body has excess energy stored in it that we're not using. So we're not expending that energy. It gets stored into our body and then it accumulates into fat, right? So that's just excess stored energy that you're not using. So to get rid of it, you have to do some exercise and then maybe watch your portion sizes to make sure that you're eating the right amount of calories, your activity levels we talked about. Mindful eating is a practice that's really useful to help you lose weight, okay? It just means that you want to limit the amount of mindless eating that you're doing. You want to only eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full, okay? This is a practice that you can learn. Generally, guys, just one question that you can ask yourself if you always want to maintain your weight with ease is when something really delicious comes in front of you, just ask yourself, am I actually hungry or is this just here? You know, someone offers you cookies and they offer you samosa and you go, oh, I'm just going to eat it. Or you're just bored, right? Like you're between your work on your computer and you're just bored and you're like, okay, I'm just going to eat some cookies without thinking about it. So don't do that because your body didn't ask for food. Only eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full, okay? Stop when you're 80% full, not even the 100%. And that'll help you maintain your weight. Sleep is a really important factor in weight loss. A lot of people don't know that. You know, when we're working professionals especially, you're used to like 5-6 hours of sleep. I work with a lot of working professionals and they tell me that they're not sleeping enough. They stay up late watching Netflix and they have to wake up at, you know, early hours to go to work. When you're constantly sleep deprived, you feel hungrier. You want to eat more carbohydrates. That's something our body does because if you don't sleep enough, your hunger hormones go up, your satiety hormones go down. There's certain hormones in our bodies that actually regulate how much we want to eat. And if you don't sleep enough, your body will want to eat more and then you will gain weight. So try to get enough sleep. 7 to 8 hours is recommended to maintain your weight well. Stress management, we all know, maybe some of us, no stress eating. So if you're very, very stressed out, you might start eating on unhealthy foods. So manage your stress is going to help. And then water intake is really important, guys. If you drink enough water, it helps you to also maintain your weight. And it's obviously very important. Women need 2 liters a day and men actually need 3 liters a day on average. So make sure that you track your water intake to make sure that you're getting enough. We're going to quickly touch on the link between diet and mental health. So we need good mental health to work well, right? Like to focus at work, to produce, to feel in a good mood, to, you know, crush our goals at work. So focusing on mental health is important. There is a very strong link. The more we're learning a lot recently in more studies that there is a strong link between your diet and your mental health. So especially omega-3 fatty acids, B vitamins, and antioxidants are really important for your brain function. Omega-3s are found in your healthy fats mostly, and B vitamins are in your fruits and vegetables and whole grains. Gut-brain connection, so your gut microbiome plays a really important role in your mental health. So if you eat more fiber and fermented foods like yogurt, it can really impact your mood and your cognitive function, and it keeps your gut healthy as well. So not only do you have a good digestive function and a good gut and good bowel movements, it also helps to maintain good mental health. Blood sugar regulation, we're going to talk about a little bit more, but it can lead to more mood swings and irritability. So make sure that you eat so that your blood sugars are managed all day. I know it sounds strange that I'm talking about blood sugar, like we're not diabetic here, but more and more research is coming out that we should watch what we eat so that we are maintaining our blood sugar levels all day long. It causes more sustained energy throughout the day. You have less, energy spikes and crashes when you're eating according to your blood sugar regulation. And again, we're going to talk about that a little bit more. Inflammation, so chronic inflammation due to poor dietary choices. So if you're eating, again, more sugar, more processed foods, more fried foods, junk food, it can contribute to chronic inflammation that can lead to indirectly mood disorders, so depression, anxiety, etc. Hydration we talked about, and then proteins. Eating a good high protein diet, good quality protein, helps to produce neurotransmitters, which can also help regulate our emotions and moods. So research shows that these foods are especially really, really good for focus and productivity at work. And then the nutrients that are especially really, really good for focus and productivity are vitamin D, the B vitamins, and omega-3 fats here. B3, B9, B12. Research shows that they boost focus, alertness, concentration, and productivity. So we talked about blood sugars a little bit, but I'll talk about it a bit more. So if you eat regular small meals throughout the day, so every 3 to 4 hours you're eating something, it'll really help to cause a more stable blood sugar in your body. I know a lot of people who are working, they skip breakfast, which is not good at all. It starts a blood sugar roller coaster in your body from the morning. This is going to happen to your body all day if you don't eat breakfast. You need that fuel, you need that energy, you need the carbohydrates for your brain to work in the morning. So whatever you do, I would highly recommend not skipping breakfast. Do have something in your system and eat frequently every 3 to 4 hours, something that's healthy. Here's an example of a balanced plate model. So vegetables, protein, and healthy carbohydrates. Eating according to this plate model for lunch and dinner, for example, will really help you to regulate your blood sugars all day. If you're wondering like what are balanced meals going to help me, it's going to be this. But for example, if somebody's eating rusk and chai for breakfast or cookies and chai for breakfast, that's all sugar, no, protein in there. It's going to cause blood sugar roller coaster, which what this means really, right? So your sugar level goes up, your insulin goes up, and it crashes. Here you're going to have high energy. Ekdam say you're going to feel like awake, and then you're going to experience a crash after some time. And then you're going to crave more sugar and eat a lot of sugar, and then it's going to fall. So if you have a lot of energy spikes and dips through the day where ekdam say you just feel like super tired, it might be because you're not managing your blood sugar. So eat well, eat often. And here we talked about the balanced plate, which is complex carbohydrates, fiber-rich foods, and a protein focus. Again, if you eat, I don't know if you guys can see this very clearly, but more processed foods, ice cream, chips, sugary foods, it causes that blood sugar spike and then dip. But if you eat healthier foods that are complex carbohydrates, high fiber foods, they cause less of this spike, okay? And will help you to maintain your energy levels and your weight through the day. So here's some examples of healthy breakfast combinations. Take a photo of this slide if you like, if you're looking for some ideas, but this is gonna help to sustain your nutrition, get enough protein in the morning, get enough fiber, and to regulate your blood sugar so that you feel so full from your breakfast that until lunch you don't need to snack on anything, you don't feel low energy. And when you have a healthy breakfast, it makes you eat less later on. So if you feel that, oh my gosh, I overeat so much at dinner, like why is that happening? Why am I snacking so much after dinner? It might be because you're not eating a nutritious enough breakfast. Okay. Healthy lunch ideas at the office. Here are some healthy lunch ideas that you can also take a picture of this slide. So that should give you some guidance. Okay. Healthy snack ideas. So this is where a lot of people I think really struggle is what can I eat as a snack at work? Usually it's like samosas and cookies and chocolates and stuff that are at work, but you do need the fuel, you need the nutrients to keep you energetic, and it's a better idea to have this to help maintain your weight and be better for your health, give you all those nutrients, micronutrients we talked about. Fruit paired with yogurt or cottage cheese, nuts, boiled egg and cherry tomatoes, cucumbers with hummus, milk, peanut butter with toast, granola bar, healthy popcorn. Here's some healthy snacks, whether at work or not. And then dining out. So a lot of the times, maybe we can't bring lunch from home. So here are some tips I have for you guys on how to stay really healthy when you're ordering out or if you eat, at a food court for lunch, for example. Here are some tips to keep in mind on what you can order to stay in good shape, to maintain your nutrition. Generally avoid creamy and cheesy sauces like creamy salad dressings, creamy soup and pasta. So some people think, I'm eating a Caesar salad for lunch, I'm being really healthy, but sometimes the creamy salad dressings can be really high in calories. So if you're watching your weight, just be mindful of that. Dishes with many sugary sauces, chicken skin or wings, if you're being especially careful, try to have chicken without skin and go for chicken breast. Oily or deep fried foods have a lot of calories, and then refined carbohydrates. We talked about white bread. Try to go for, again, brown and whole wheat, and then soft drinks and juices. Be really, really mindful because they just can really add up in your calories and preservatives and things like that. But here are a lot of healthier options that you can aim for. Alrighty, so now I'm done talking so much. And it's time for you guys to also participate. So we're gonna do a fun true and false session, okay? So I want you to raise your hand whether you think something is true or false, okay? So I'm going to put up the question, and then I'll give you guys a minute, and then you guys put your hand up if you think it's true, and then it's like, okay, who thinks it's false? And let's see how well you guys do on our quiz. Okay, so the question is, protein is only needed for muscle growth and maintenance. So people who go to the gym need to worry about their protein intake the most. It's only needed for muscle growth. True or false? Whoever thinks it's true, raise your hands. Whoever thinks it's false? It's everyone. I need everyone's hand up. I'm watching you. No, okay, you guys are right. Very smart. Okay, eating almonds and walnuts benefits brain health. True or false? True? Raise your hands. Okay, false? You guys are right. It's true. Brown sugar is healthier than white sugar. Who thinks it's true? Okay, half the people think it's true. Who thinks it's false? Half. Okay. The answer is it's actually false. So a lot of people think that brown sugar is healthier than white sugar. The only difference is the color and like one mineral. But it's the same. It causes blood sugar spikes. You want to limit it to prevent inflammation and those spikes that we talked about. So whether you have white or brown, you have to limit that consumption. Go for more naturally sweetened things if you're trying to watch your sugar intake. So Diet Coke has no sugar, so it's fine to drink every day. True or false? True, raise your hands. False. Everyone? Okay, good. I love that. You guys are right spot. Okay, so false, yeah, it's full of chemicals. There's a lot of research to show that it can even cause weight gain. So even though it has no sugar, it can cause insulin spikes. It causes people to crave sugar more when they're so used to this really high sweetness, even when it's from fake sugar. It can cause them to crave sugar more. So sometimes with my clients, I kind of tell them, listen, like, you're gonna do yourself a favor by getting rid of your Diet Cokes from your diet. They always tell me our sugar cravings went down. We're not craving as much sugar anymore now that we've kind of weaned off this. And then there's other issues with this too. So yeah, diet drinks, it's no go. Next question, is it better for weight loss to eat carbs only during the day and avoid them at night? Yes or no? True?
True, I think.
Raise your hands. Who thinks it's true? Is it better to eat carbs only during the day and avoid them at night for weight loss? Okay. Who thinks it's false? Okay. More people think it's false. Correct answer, it's false. So you can eat carbs in the day, in the afternoon, at night, it doesn't matter. For weight loss, the only thing that matters, we talked about before, is how much calories you're eating through the day. As long as you are in a calorie deficit, you're eating less calorie than your body is using up, you will lose weight no matter what time you eat your carbohydrates. It's actually better, again, to, kind of break up your carbohydrate intake throughout the day. A little bit in the morning, a little bit in your snack, a little bit at dinner. Equally maintained is best for your health and even for weight loss. Gluten is not bad. Most people do not need to eliminate gluten from their diet. So, lately we've heard a lot about these gluten-free foods. Oh my gosh, gluten is so bad. These like very halo, amazing foods that don't have gluten. There's like all this marketing stuff going around. What do you guys think? Is this true or false? Raise your hand if you think it's true. Raise your hands if they think it's false. It's half-half. So it's true, we don't have to fear gluten. It's really not that bad. So 1% of our population has something called celiac disease, and they cannot have a gluten, which is basically a protein. It's a protein that's found in wheat, barley, and rye, only in these three grains, but it's present in a lot of our foods generally, wheat, barley, and rye. It contains this protein called gluten, and people with celiac disease are supposed to stay away from gluten 100%. It's a super strict diet. The rest of us, we can digest gluten just fine. We don't need to worry about gluten. We can eat it. It was a whole marketing gimmick situation, so don't worry. Eat gluten all you want, and then the gluten-free foods are not so much better or any better than normal foods. Another question for you guys. Lemon is a fat-burning food, so for fat loss, you should drink lemon water daily. True or false? If you think it's true, raise your hand. If you think it's false, raise your hand. Okay, good. Yeah, it's false. There's no such thing as fat-burning foods. There's so many videos online that say, oh, if you eat this or if you drink this, subah mein ye lena chahiye to burn fat and everything. That's not how our bodies work. There is no fat-burning foods. Though maybe it is nice to drink some lemon water in the morning. It has some health benefits, sure. But in terms of fat burning, this is a false claim. Okay, guys, so eating prawns is not bad for your heart health or cholesterol level. True or false? True? Who thinks it's true? Who thinks it's false? So who thinks it is bad for your cholesterol to eat prawns? Okay. The answer is true. So this was a huge myth. So for a long time, people used to think, oh my God, we have to stay away from prawns if we have high cholesterol levels, and they would stay away from it. But the research shows it's actually good for your cholesterol levels to eat prawns. It does not affect your cholesterol. It's good for your heart health. True or false? Consuming fish and milk in the same meal may lead to a skin disorder. True? If you think it's true, raise your hand. If you think it's false, raise your hand. Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know. Like when I was a kid, my mom used to say, oh my God, you shouldn't drink milk and have fish at the same time. With your patches white ho jate hain, wo ho jate hain. No, it's not true. That doesn't happen. This is a question I actually get a lot. Taking vitamin supplements can cause some weight gain. Have you heard this before? Is this true or false? Who thinks it's true? Who thinks it's false? 50-50. It's false. So vitamins do not cause any weight gain. Unless you're taking a mass gainer or you're taking like a protein supplement or something that's a macronutrient. Vitamin is a micronutrient. It doesn't have calories. So there's a multivitamin, a calcium vitamin D, anything like that. They're not going to cause weight gain. They don't have calories. Next one, eating carrots has benefits for your eyesight. True or false? True, raise your hand. False, raise your hand.
False.
It's true. So carrots are orange. They have vitamin A, which is really good for our eyesight, and it helps to prevent night blindness. So if you're, scared about night blindness, eat carrots. That's the end of our true and false. Okay, guys? Can I hear some applause? Woo! Yay! Okay, time for Q&A. If you guys have some questions, we have some time. Yes?
You said taking vitamins doesn't result in weight gain, but doesn't it make you really hungry when you take vitamins?
No.
I feel like it does.
Maybe you're not eating enough. No, it doesn't make you hungrier. They don't do that. Any other questions? Yeah.
What I've done is I've replaced sugar with honey. I wanted to ask if is it healthy to take honey and how much amount of it is to take.
So honey is also a simple sugar. So it does raise your blood sugar levels. It is healthier than regular sugar because it has like some antimicrobial properties and some benefits for your immunity and things like that. So it is better. So let's say if I want to sweeten my chai a little bit, I'll add a little bit of honey instead of like sugar, but it is still a simple sugar. So it does raise your blood sugar levels. So it's about limiting your use of even honey, sugar, all of these simple sugars as much as possible. Maple syrup, coconut sugar, date sugar. Any type of sugar that you hear or honey is a simple sugar. And those are just the ideas, limit it as much as you can. But you can use it a little bit here and there, and that's okay. Jen?
Not really taste.
You can, but in like smaller amounts. So it's just sometimes when people hear, oh, this is good, they'll just be like, oh yeah, we can add as much as we want. But that's not the case. It still has calories. A spoon has 20 calories, for example. So it just matters of what your goals are specifically on how much you can have. If you have questions, just raise your hand. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to know if like you're having like cravings for something sweet, some sweet cravings. So what should we have if we can't have honey, we can't have brown sugar, you can't.
It's about limiting it, right? So there's a lot of amazing recipes online on desserts that you can make sweetened with banana and sweetened with dates, right? So those are like your very natural, healthy foods that you can use to sweeten banana bread or energy balls or like things like that. Cacao, for example. If you want, you could use a little bit of stevia into your healthier baked goods, for example. I know there's a few, even in Karachi, people who do these like sugar-free kind of desserts, then they use bananas and dates to sweeten it. So if you want to order those, but other healthy, snacks, if you're craving something sweet, again, your fruits are a great source. Your dates are a good source.
Sugar cravings.
Surprising, it's to manage your blood sugars, like we said, through the day. So if you eat a good high protein breakfast, you eat these balanced plates for lunch and dinner, you're eating protein, you're eating vegetables, you eat these healthy snacks, I promise you your sugar cravings will go down. Promise. Guarantee you. Come back to me. Tell me it didn't work. So high protein diet, like having enough protein in your diet reduces your sugar cravings, because when you don't eat enough protein, you end up eating carbs and sugar. So cravings are you're just like always then craving the next amount of sugar and carbs. And the reason we have cravings is because our body wants to wake up. We want energy. It's like our energy source. So if you're not sleeping well or you're not eating well, your body's gonna want, like, naturally crave those. But if you eat protein and fats are satiating macronutrients. Satiating means they make us feel fuller for longer. So having those is a priority in planning your diet. Yeah.
Is there any method or is there any food like people prefer to have hot water instead of cool water to burn fat? Or there was a question that people taking lemon water to burn fat, and people make a lot of mixtures in the early morning. They add honey and they add adrak in it, and
Yeah.
they take it. So is there any way, any substance which can burn fat?
Yeah, these are great questions because there's so many videos online that just confuse everybody. They're like, oh, but this is good, that's good, make this tea in the morning and mix this and that. I know many people who do, and I encourage it. Let's say if people want to have, long ki hot water, and like they mix all these cool things in their pani. These are very health promoting herbs and things. They're so good for your health. They're good for your digestion. Absolutely have them, but they don't actually cause fat loss. They don't do anything for weight loss or fat loss, but they're so healthy to have. So go ahead. When it comes to the temperature of water as you drink it, so whether you're having like a boiling water or very hot water or cold water, that also doesn't affect weight loss. At the end of the day, when you're drinking, it kind of comes to the same temperature by the time it comes into your stomach. So even if you drink cold water, your body warms it until it comes here, and it doesn't make much difference. It doesn't affect your fat burning based on temperature of water.
So the myth that Chinese people are slim due to hot water is fake.
No, they're slim because they eat very clean foods. They don't eat fried foods. They eat a lot of veggies, broccoli, fish, khate, and they're very like lean diet.
Spices. This is the second question. Like my second question is related to spices. What spices play the role in our food?
Spices are so healthy. Like a lot of people go, our khana is bad because there's oils and spices. No. Spices are so good for our health. They have so many benefits. They're one of the things that actually prevent disease the most in South Asian communities is our use of spices like turmeric, black pepper. They're just really, really good for our body. They fight inflammation in our body. So they're totally fine to have, unless you're having so many spices that you have heartburn from garam masala and it's not like digesting well at night. Maybe don't use that much spices, but generally the more spices and herbs you use is better for your diet. So make sure to use like red chili pepper and all the spices.
Sorry, I have few more questions. If the audience allows me.
Maybe I'll come back to you. We can ask another question. I love it.
Is it okay to do just a diet, not exercise? I think by doing just a diet, we can bring our body in shape.
Okay, so for the question is, for the goal of weight loss alone, can it be done with just diet and not exercise? The answer is yes. As long as you're in that calorie deficit, you're eating less than your body's energy basic needs are, you will lose weight, you will lose fat just from diet alone if you don't exercise. It is possible, though. Personally, I recommend that people do exercise because when you exercise, you build more lean muscle. And when you build lean muscle, that actually improves your metabolism long term. So generally, even after you leave a diet and you have some muscle, a bit more muscle on you, you're just like going to stay leaner for longer, easier when you exercise. And it has other benefits, of course. So that's my 2 cents on it. Yes.
I just wanted to ask, how effective is green tea in your opinion for weight loss or shaping?
So green tea, the research found that if in Chinese people, there was a research done that if you drink, I think it was like 5 cups of green tea a day, maybe over the whole year, you might lose 5 pounds. So it's like very little, it's very insignificant, but it has so many health benefits. So if you're looking to just like, have good antioxidants in your body to prevent disease, like green tea is really good for that and for digestion and other things. But weight loss, it's not that effective. I guess, yeah.
What do you say about black coffee and yogurt? Are these healthy for weight loss? Or is it recommended to take black coffee daily?
So when it comes to coffee has health benefits. So it is full of antioxidants. It's good for heart and brain health. It actually prevents quite a few diseases. It's good for liver health. So having a little bit of coffee here and there, if you enjoy coffee and it doesn't cause, acidity or anxiety or anything, then you can moderately enjoy your coffee with health benefits. When it comes to weight loss, it doesn't have much of an effect. It increases your resting metabolic rate by like very little. So it increases your metabolism just a bit. And some people use it to suppress appetite. So it does suppress a bit of appetite. So can be used, but yeah, that's my 2 cents on coffee. Yogurt, super healthy, nutritious food, so good for your gut health. There's a protein source. Again, sometimes we really struggle to meet our daily protein requirements. It's a great snack, or if you want to add it to your meals, it's really good for just weight gain, weight loss, health in general, including your diet. Yeah.
अच्छा, तो हमारे देसी कल्चर में एक मेरे ख्याल से मिसकंसेप्शन है कि आप जब अपने ये चीक्स का फैट थोड़ा कम कर देते हो और पेट का थोड़ा कम कर देते हो, तो फिर घर वाले कहते हैं कि ये मतलब कमज़ोर हो गए हो, ठीक है? तो मेरा सवाल ये है कि कौन सा मतलब कितना बॉडी फैट परसेंटेज हम कह सकते हैं कि एक इंसान को मेंटेन करना चाहिए कि उससे ज़्यादा हो तो वो मतलब अनहेल्दी है और उससे नीचे भी अनहेल्दी है, और एक रेंज?
I guess it's not like one number. I think it just really depends. Usually doctors will use something called BMI as like an overhead generalized term equation to see like, okay, this is where it's a healthy weight range, and when you're above that or below that, it can increase your risk of disease. So it's purely not from a aesthetic point of view, but more towards, okay, you have more disease if you're on either side. And, you know, even from overweight, they have classification for overweight, obesity class 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., to see how overweight someone is. And they generally tend to want people to be in a healthy weight range just for lower risks of disease. There are a little bit of faulty, you know, people are against using the BMI for a few reasons. One of them is actually that if somebody, even if they are in the overweight category, if they eat a healthy diet, they're exercising, they're fit, they take care of themselves, they can be a lot healthier than somebody who is thin, you know? So that's where it can be a little bit like discriminatory against people who are in a larger size, which, you know, makes sense. You're like, no more questions. Yeah. I hope that answers my question. So there's no like one number for body fat, and generally, you
What's
know.
your outlook on this?
On what?
Like how in our culture, when you don't have chubby cheeks, you don't have a belly sticking out, then they say कि बेटा कमजोर हो गए हो.
Everyone has an opinion, you know, on how thin and fat people should look, and I think just ignore what they say. And if you feel healthy and you look good to yourself, I think that's most important, right?
अक्सर बोला करते हैं कि हम वेजिटेबल्स को ओवर कुक कर लेते हैं तो उसकी सारी न्यूट्रिशंस खत्म हो जाती हैं.
Great question.
कच्ची सब्जियां खानी चाहिए उसके बारे में.
Yeah, that's a good question.
और उसमें ऑलिव ऑयल का इजाफा भी कर दिया है. और दूसरे ऑयल बड़े जो बाहर से आ रहे हैं कि ये यूज करें, ये कम हो, ओमेगा बी हो, इसमें ये हो या
So we have only time for one question left in our. So I'll choose one of your 2 or 3 questions, which I heard. Yeah, the vegetables one. So so there's you know, people tend to think, and you've heard that if you अगर सब्जियों को ज़्यादा पकाते हैं तो उसकी nutrition खत्म हो जाती है. Like there's, it's, you know, you're not even worth eating. But that's false. Whether some vegetables are cooked or uncooked, they do give a lot of nutrition. So whether you like cooked vegetables or uncooked, please eat them. They're just so important for your health. Sometimes when you cook the vegetables, they actually become more bioavailable in your body. So you can extract the nutrients, your gut can extract the nutrients a lot better. Let's say tomatoes are actually healthier when they are cooked versus when they are raw. Broccoli is more healthy. Iron, your absorption goes up when it's more cooked versus when it's raw. So certain vegetables are good when they're cooked. If you cook certain vegetables that are raw, it might lose some of its nutrients, like the B and C vitamins. If you boil it, to pani mein nikal jate hain, or the vitamin C gets destroyed. So there's like a bit of a give and take, but they still retain a lot of their nutrition. So eat them regardless. I wouldn't worry too much about cooked versus uncooked, whatever form, just eat them. That's my opinion. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for attending the talk. I'm so glad you came, and I hope you found it really helpful. Thank you.